Hey there guys, Mike coming at you with yet another video on Intro to Algebra. In the previous video we did a bit of a review about adding and subtracting real numbers, specifically fractions. In this video we're going to do an even quicker go through of multiplying and dividing real numbers, again specifically fractions. But first of all, before we get to that, some basic dividing and multiplying facts for any real number a whatsoever. A times 1 is always equal to A times 0 is always equal to 0. So if you take any number and multiply it by 1, you get the same number. Any number multiplied by 0 gives you 0. A divided by 1 is equal to A. Any number divided by 1, you get the same number. A divided by 0 is always not defined. You cannot divide by 0. Breaks the internet, things blow up, things aren't good. So dividing by 0 can't happen. Similarly to how the order doesn't matter when we add numbers, the order in which we multiply numbers does not matter. You can switch the order in which the numbers are listed, but that does not change the result that you get. Also, much like how the order does matter when you subtract two numbers, the order in which we divide numbers matters significantly. You cannot just switch the numbers in all cases when you want to divide two things. You're not going to get the same quantity. Now, multiplying fractions, we've done this before. Very easy, very straightforward. You simply multiply the tops of the fractions and you multiply the bottoms of your fractions, and those are the new top and bottom for your new fraction respectively. Now, dividing fractions, if we're going to divide fractions, we can turn it into multiplication by doing one little thing. Dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal of that fraction. The reciprocal of a fraction is simply taking the top and bottom and having them switch places. So top becomes bottom, bottom becomes top. So as a sample here, if I want to find what 2/3 divided by 11/6 is, this is the same thing as 2/3. And now we take the reciprocal of the second fraction, and this sign here turns into a multiplication sign. So this is going to be 2/3 times 11/6. So now multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. 2 times 11 is 22. 3 times 6 is 18. And now typically what we would do is we would simplify this thing out more. The top, as we just saw, was 2 times 11. Now the bottom we can also write as 2 times 9. And we see that on the bottom and the top there is a factor of 2. So we can divide that factor of 2 out, and that just turns into a 1 and a 1, and we have 11/9. Try this problem here on your own. 5/12 divided by 4/13. So try that guy on your own and see what you come up with. Now, based on whether your numbers are negative or positive, what are the results that we're going to get? What if I multiply two positive numbers? I'm going to get a number that's positive. What if I multiply two negative numbers? If you multiply two numbers that are negative, you're going to get a positive number that is given by this fact right here. If I do minus x times minus y, And that's the same thing as x times y. The minuses will multiply with each other to form a plus, to form a positive. And what if I multiply a negative number and a positive number? Well, when I take the product of two numbers, one negative and one positive, that product is going to be negative. So minus x times y is the same thing as minus x times y. And similarly, x times minus y is equal to minus x times y. So find each product below. 2 times negative 10. Again, I'm taking the product of a positive and a negative number, so I know that my answer is going to be negative. So it's going to be negative, and then I have the 2 times the 10, and that's going to give me negative 20. Second here, I have a negative 5 times a negative 2/3. Each of these numbers are negative, so I know that this is going to be a positive quantity. The minuses are going to multiply out to a positive, and this is the same thing as 5 times 2/3. Now, how can we get this as a nice fractional answer? We see this 5 here. The other way we can write this as a fraction is saying 5 over 1. It's not a common thing that we do, but nonetheless it can be done. So we have 5 over 1 times 2 over 3, and now we're just multiplying these fractions, and that gets us 10/3. And I'll let you guys do the other two on your own, see if you can come up with the correct answers. And last thing for this short video, just some notation that we can clean up or we can make more clear. If I say x divided by y, that's our classic division symbol there. We can write this as x slash y. That means the same thing. We can also do x horizontal bar y. That's the more common form that we've seen. But we can also write that in terms of multiplication. X divided by y is the same thing as x multiplied by the quantity 1 over y. So x over y is the same thing as x times 1 over y. Now, division of numbers where you have maybe both negative or one negative and one positive. If the top number is negative, then that minus sign goes out front. So minus x over y is minus x over y. Or if the negative number is on just the bottom, then that minus sign goes out front. So we still get minus x over y. If I take the quotient of two numbers where each of them is negative, then that's going to give me a positive quantity. So minus x divided by minus y is equal to x over y. So just a couple basic things, a couple basic facts, yet important facts about division of numbers that are negative and or positive. So guys, this concludes our video on section 1.5, multiplying and dividing real numbers, specifically fractions. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to reach out to me. Send me an email, give me a call, stop into my office, whatever you have to do. Until the next video, take it easy, guys.